Yo, good day, gents, and welcome to another episode of Father's Fire. I'm out taking a nice little walk on this beautiful wintry day. Snowed this morning, but it's all melted off, which is nice because you're not dealing with it driving for weeks at a time and ice and snow and nastiness. But no, it was really nice and beautiful. Yesterday, Judy and I and the kids, we put up the tree and decorated, and just as we were about to go to bed, it started to snow, and so it really had that kind of white Christmas feel, and it was just a lot of fun. Judy and I were standing in the window watching the snow, visiting, having a good time together, just enjoying each other's company, enjoying the kickoff of the season, because I always view Thanksgiving as the start of the Christmas holiday, because there's so much to be grateful for, you know. And even in your dark moments, you know, years ago, Judy and I, actually starting in 2018, our family went through some pretty dark moments, a very heavy trial that we're finally close to the end of. And I tell you, one of the things that really helped me get through that was Judy invited me to keep a gratitude journal. And so every day I would write at least 3 things that I was grateful for. And it was amazing because as I did that, I was able to see how God was moving in my life, how He was putting people in my life to lift me up, to give me words of encouragement, who had similar experiences, and their insight, their empathy, their wisdom helped me move through a challenging time, me and my wife. And I will be forever grateful that that is one of the things that she encouraged me to do. And I actually started looking at that today. I actually opened up my journal and I could see some of the men and the women and the experiences that really impacted me, and how they made me grateful for that day. Even though maybe the entire season was a little challenging, I could see rays of hope in the gratitude. And so I would invite you, as you're going through this Christmas season into 2023, that you take the time to keep a gratitude journal. On a second note, I've been thinking a lot about the concept of moving out of the language of, man, I was a bad dad, I really struggled with this in my life, I was addicted, or you know what, I'm not fit because of these things. And we tend to define what we're not doing instead of what we are doing, what we are becoming. And I was talking to a gentleman a couple weeks ago, and he was telling me about a very close friend of his who is struggling with his relationship with his wife. And one of the reasons why he is struggling is because he has a temper. He gets really short and demeaning and condescending in his tone and in his words. And he's really struggled with that. And he might do good for a day, he might do good for a week, but then he seems to slide back. And he uses phrases like, well, I have a temper, and that's just who I am. And I wonder if he would, instead of saying, I have a temper, if he started saying to his wife and to himself, you know what, I'm a gentle man, I'm a kind man, I'm a soft-spoken man, I'm a considerate man. The words that I use, they lift up, they don't tear down. Because it's amazing what happens in your mind and in your spirit when you switch from I did this or I do this to I am this. And when you start thinking about what you are and what you want to become, then you start doing the little things to become that. And it's not so much a checklist of things to do, but it's a guideline of what you are becoming. And if we can start changing our mindset in our vocabulary, in our words to, I am a kind man, I am a gentle man, I'm a man that lifts people up with my words and my spirit and my very presence. I don't condemn people by my tone. So I'd really like you to think about that. I'd like to think about, what do you want to be? What are you? And what are the things that you need to do to become that? Years ago, I had a goal of becoming a little bit more versed in my knowledge of the gospel. And somebody said, you know what? If you want to be more knowledgeable in your understanding of the gospel of Jesus Christ, then you need to spend more time in His Word. And you need to not only seek for that gift, but you need to be willing to do what it's required to get that gift. So if there's something that's missing in your life, if there's something that you really want to become, the question is what are you willing to do and become to get that characteristic? So I'd like you to think about that as you're walking through this week. Are the words that you use, are they uplifting to yourself? Are the words that you use, are they uplifting to others? I often told my kids, especially when they were younger and they would be bickering and arguing, sometimes the words that they would use would really cut into the soul. They would cut into the heart. And I would often ask them, are your words building up or are they tearing down? And I think that's a lesson for all of us, because some of the words that we use, the tone of our voice, sometimes a little sarcasm, a little kind of angst in the voice, it really does tear down and it cuts. And over time, the words that you're using can slowly erode and tear down somebody's heart and leave them wanting and yearning for a kind word. How many of you men had fathers that told you, I love you, I'm proud of you, I'm excited to see who you are becoming, I like who you are, I like who you are becoming? It's amazing what happens when we start using words of affirmation, words of love, of encouragement, that the kids in our lives, the women in our lives, the associates in our lives, not only will they be lifted up by your presence, by the words that you use, they will yearn to be with you. So, just a few thoughts for you guys on this beautiful Monday. I hope you have a fantastic week. And remember to like, share, and subscribe to Father's Fire. Every week I try to share a thought to help inspire you to become a better father, a better husband, a better man, to ignite that fire within you that's just waiting, it's simmering, it's like a little ember waiting to be ignited into action. And man, when we can do that, boy, the impact we can have on our families. You guys go have a fantastic day, and we will check you same time, same bad channel, just next week, right here on Father's Fire. See ya!